What is the object of thought? What is the object of thinking? What is the object of thinking? What is it that is thought about? Objects. Objects are thought about. Is it clear? What is thought of? What is the object of thought? Object. Object is the object of thought. Object means subject matter. So just as objects are the objects of thinking, thinking itself is the object of Atma. The very process of thinking is illumined by Atma. Just as I use the ear to know the presence of the sounds and also to know that there are no sounds. I can't use my eyes for the absence of the sound. Let me see whether there are sounds or not. You can't open your eyes. Let me see. You can't see the absence of the sound. Even to know that there are no sounds, I have to use my ear. I use my ear. So the ear illumines the presence and absence of sound. The eye illumines the presence and absence of form. Thought illumines the presence and absence of form, object. Similarly, Atma illumines the presence and absence of the ear, presence and absence of the sight, presence and absence of thought. This is exactly what it means when we say the ear of the ear, the eye of the eye, the thought of the thought, the breath of the breath, vagera. A simple answer he has given, later on it will be elaborated. But now the Purvapakshi says, well, it cannot be answered like this, you have to give a straight answer as somebody who controls the whole thing. Now here Siddhanta says, Anyatha Vishesha Anavagamati, it cannot be understood in any other manner except as the illuminator of, the knower of the presence and absence of sense organs, as the knower of the presence and absence of mind. Is it clear? Anyatha Vishesha Anavagamat means Atma cannot be understood except as the knower of the presence and absence of perception, except as the knower of the presence and absence of thought. Iti. Yadihi, in the notes I will give all that. Yadihi in case, Siddhanti continues. Yadihi in case, Shrotradi Vyapara Vyatiriktena. Shrotradi means sense organs, the ear, etc. Vyapara means functioning. Vyatiriktena as separate, as totally separate from the functioning of the sense organ, as totally unconnected to sense organs, as totally separate from sense organs. Swavyaparena, if there is Atma, supposing if there is Atma, which is totally away from the sense organs and the mind, and it has got its own functioning. Like sense organs have got their functioning and Atma has its own functioning, then we can imagine that the Atma through its functioning makes the sense organs function. Generally we think like that. Raja makes the Praja work, function. But can you say that Raja doesn't function at all? If Raja's presence itself can make everything function, then even a statue looking like Raja is enough. That there are many Rajas, in fact people stop working in his presence. Therefore Raja also has to function. So here the Purvapakshi thinks, so Siddhanta says now to the Purvapakshi, hey Purvapakshi, supposing if Atma were something different from the senses and the mind, and it has got its own functioning, and senses have their own functioning, mind has its own functioning, and Atma has its own functioning, and Atma through its functioning makes the mind function. Atma through its functioning makes the senses function. If this were the situation, then I would have ignored the senses, ignored the mind, and straight away described the Atma on the basis of the nature of its own functioning. But now Atma is not totally away from sense organs. Is it clear? In the introduction I have told, remember those sentences. It's not an object but not away from the object. It's not an object but not away from the object. It's not a sense organ but not away from the object, sense organ. It's not thought but not away from the thought. Atma is not thought but not away from the thought. Atma is not sight but not away from the sight. Atma is not an object but not away from the object. And therefore, if there is a definite spatial division, like between Ghata and Pata there is a spatial division, wherever there is spatial division between one object and another object, I can ignore one object in order to describe the other object. Is this sentence clear? If there is a definite spatial division, like Ghata and Pata, a tree and a stone, if there is a definite spatial difference, in order to describe one object, I don't have to describe the other object, I don't have to make any reference. But here, there is no spatial division between the sight and the Atma, hearing and Atma, thought and Atma, object and Atma, there is no spatial division. You can't say here is Atma, here is object. You can say here is one object, here is another object. Between object and object there is spatial division. Between object and object there is spatial division. But between object and Atma there is no spatial division. Similarly, between sense organs and Atma there is no spatial division. Between thought and Atma there is no spatial division. When this is the thing, then I cannot ignore the sense organs, thought, and then describe Atma. I have to describe Atma only keeping the reference to the sense organs, like even. Between wave and wave, there is a spatial division. आप आराम से नोट्स बाद में लिखेंगे, लिखना सब बाद में कर सकते हैं, अब आराम से सुनिए. Listening is an art where just you listen. Just listen. Listening, if one knows how to listen, then you don't have to do anything. There lies knowledge. Entire Shravanam, That is why Vyasa Maharshi, he tells at one place, Pauna Punyena Shravanam Kuryat. Avrittihi Asakrit Upadesha. If a person knows how to do Shravanam, he doesn't have to do anything. Just understands. But Shravanam is great. Shravanam is not collecting information, please. Seeing the truth that is there. All that is to be understood is one truth. Everything else, all details are all mithya within that truth. Therefore now, between wave and wave, is there a difference or not? Wave as wave and wave as wave. There is a division. But between wave and water, there is no division. There is spatial division between wave and wave, but there is no spatial division between wave and water. Try to describe water without a reference to the wave. You are looking at the waves. Now you have to understand, you have to communicate to somebody. You are looking at waves, your friend also is looking at waves, and he puts a question. What is that force because of which the waves exist, because of which the waves function? What is that force behind the waves? Now what will you say? You have to communicate to him that it is nothing but water, and he fails to see it. Now let us imagine. Now you have to communicate the water to your friend. Can you communicate water as away from waves? Without reference to the waves, ignoring the waves, can you communicate water? No. You have to communicate water only as the wave of the wave. Is it not? The wave of the wave means as the truth of the wave. As the truth of the wave. Is it clear? As the truth of the wave. Can you communicate what is water, closing eyes to the waves? Can you ignore the waves? No. Let us leave these waves. I will show you water. Where will you take him? There are nothing but waves and waves and waves. Wherever you see, waves. But water also is there as the truth of the waves. Now where will you take him leaving the waves? Where will you take him to show water? This is exactly what we all do in meditation also. We should close our eyes to the entire thought, all thoughts. We close our eyes, we close our eyes, we close our mind, we close the world. Then Atma ko dikhayenge. Where is Atma? Atma, water is not the wave. Listen with utmost concentration. Water is not wave, but not away from wave. Water is not wave, but water is not wave as a form. It is not, but it is not away from the form. So I have to communicate, I have to convey water as the truth of the wave. Similarly, here also, sense organs are waves, breath is a wave, thought is a wave, the whole prapancha is wave. Now, Atma is not away from them. Atma is not them, but is not away from them. It is the truth of them. This is exactly what is, this is the only way we can communicate the Atma. Therefore here Siddhanti says, well, if Atma were totally spatially, supposing there is spatially different, like one wave is spatially distinct from another wave, in order to convey one wave, I don't have to bother about another wave because there is spatial distinction. Is it clear? Spatial distinction. But here there is no spatial distinction between senses and self, thought and self, memory and self, breath and self, the whole prapancha and self. There is no spatial distinction. Therefore, I cannot convey Atma ignoring them. I can only convey Atma as the truth of them. Therefore, Siddhanta says, if there were Atma like that, separate from them, Swavyaparena Visishtaha, having its own functioning. Swavyaparena means with its own functioning, Visishtaha being qualified. If Atma were to have its own function, senses are different. If the situation were like this, if the senses were different and Atma were different, if senses were to have their own functioning and Atma were to have its own functioning, then Shrotradi Niyokta. And if Atma were available as the Niyokta, as the prompter of the sense organs by his own functioning, by his own will, Shrotradi Niyokta, as the prompter of the sense organs, Avagamyeta, if it were evident, like what? Datradi Prayoktrivati. Datradi Prayoktrivati. Datradi Prayoktavat means like the one who uses the sickle. Datri means no, Datri and Lavitri, all of them mean the same. So the one who uses an instrument for harvesting. It is called sickle. Datradi Prayoktrivat. How really you can wield an instrument and then prompt something. With an instrument you can prompt someone or you can do some function. Atma doesn't have any instrument in its hand through which he can prompt the sense organs. If it were, supposing if Atma were like that, then tada, then idam, this particular answer that I have given, ananurupam prativachanam syat. In the book there is anurupam. It should be made ananurupam. In your text what is there? Anurupam. It should be ananurupam syat. Then my samadhanam would have been, my answer would have been irrelevant. Meaning what? Hey Purupakshi. Now please listen. Hey Purupakshi. What is my answer? Shrotrasya Shrotram, Manaso Manaha, Chakshushaha Chakshuhu, Pranasya Pranaha. He is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear. This kind of answer would have been irrelevant. My answer like this would have been irrelevant if Atma were totally spatially distinct from the sense organs, were spatially distinct from the thought, and that Atma, if it were capable of using its own instruments to function, to make the senses function like the Raja, then my answer would have been irrelevant. Now the Atma is not totally distinct from the senses, distinct from the thought. Is not away. Distinct means not away from the thought, is not away from the sense organs. Nor Atma is capable of functioning. Atma doesn't function, please. Atma doesn't function. Atma doesn't have any instruments in its hands. Because Atma doesn't have instruments, Atma doesn't function. Atma is not like a king, and nor is it totally away from the sense organs. Is it clear? Number one, Atma is not away from the senses and the mind. Number two, Atma doesn't function. Number three, Atma doesn't have instruments. If Atma were totally away from the senses, then ignoring the sense organs, I can give a description of Atma. If Atma had its own functioning and its own instruments to function, then on the basis of those instruments and the nature of the functioning, I would have given a description of Atma. But Atma is not totally distinct away from the senses and the mind. It doesn't function, it doesn't have instruments, and therefore I cannot give any other type of description except saying that it is the truth of the senses, truth of the mind, truth of the breath, the very content of all of them. This is the only way I can tell. There is no other way. And therefore, if Atma were something else, if Atma were totally distinct from all of them, if Atma were totally beyond all of them, then my answer would have been irrelevant. Now my answer is not irrelevant because it is there in the senses themselves. Natu iha, but not here, but here, Shrotradinam prayokta. In our experience, here means what? In the matter of Atma, Shrotradinam prayokta, as the prompter of the sense organs, as the one who wills them, as the one who prompts them, as the one who controls them by his will, like king controls. Shrotradinam prayokta swavyapara visishtaha, having its own functioning. Swavyapara visishtaha means having its own functioning. Lavitradivat adhigamyate na, is not available. Lavitradivat means like a sickle. Lavitra means also is the one who digs. Lavitra means any instrument. Lavitradivat, the one who cuts, you can write, like a woodcutter. Lavitradivat adhigamyate. So Atma is not available like a woodcutter. A woodcutter has got his own instrument, and then he makes things function, vagara vagara. Atma is not seen. We don't experience an Atma standing outside the sense organs, standing outside the mind, and then making the mind and senses function. We see the king functioning and making the others function. The king is separate from the people, spatially away from the people, is it not? There is spatial distance between the Raja and the Praja, and the king himself functions and makes the other function. In that manner, Atma is not away from the mind, nor does it really function. Therefore, we can't describe Atma without just ignoring the other factors. Ravitradivatu nadhigamyati. Shrotradinam evatu samhatanam. Shrotradi, the sense organs, all of them are experienced one thing. They are all experienced to be samhata. Samhata means they are all collected. It's a collection. Like when you look at the house, you know it is not one piece, it is a collection of many pieces. It's a collection. Is it not? You understand samhati means collection. House is a collection. Car is a collection. That is called a samhata. Collection, you know. Now, wherever there is a collection of things, the collection of things is not for things' sake, but it is always for someone. It is always for someone who is other than the collection, and it is for, and himself is not a collection, and other than the collection. Other than means unlike the collection. Like house is a collection, it is not meant for itself, it is meant for me, but I am not a collection. Relatively speaking, I am not a collection. As an individual, house is meant for me. What is meant is always inert. To whom is it meant is always conscious. You can never have collection of things for things' sake. What is meant is inert and it is collected, and to whom is it meant is always chetanam, is always conscious. Is it not? स्वामी जी समझ में नहीं आता, समझ में नहीं आता. Food is inert or not? Food is inert. To whom? To the inert or to the conscious? Swami ji, how can you say it is for conscious? After all, it is for the body. It is for the body, all right. Does the body long for food, or sitting in the body you long for? Who wants food? Does the body want food? The body doesn't want food. Me identified with the body, wonderful. So who wills to eat? Body wills or you will? You will. Conscious being wills. Therefore, whatever is meant is always meant for conscious being. What is meant is achetanam. To whom is it meant? Chetanam. What is meant is collection. To whom is it meant is always non-collection. Is asamhata. In fact, here also, like for example, the house is meant for me. The body also is a collection, is it not? Just as the house is for me, the body also is it meant for itself or is it meant for me? It is meant for you. Body is a collection or a non-collection? Body is collection or non? How do we know whether it is a collection or not? If it can be dismembered, then it is a collection. Is it not? How do you know it is a collection? If you can separate it, that means what? It is a collection of many things. What can be separated? If it is all together, then it is a collection. Therefore, body can be dismembered. That means it is a collection of many objects. So it's for whom? For me. Sense organs are collection. Collection or not? Collection for me. Now thought also, mind also. Is it just inseparable entity or separable? Mind also is separable. Each thought is separate from the other thought. Each emotion is separate from the other emotion. Each memory is separate from the other. The whole antahkaranam, pleasure and pain. Antahkaranam is a collection of all perceptions, all thoughts, all emotions, all feelings, all pleasures, all pains, all ragas, all dveshas, so many things. It's like a huge banyan tree having so many branches, vagera, vagera. Now this whole antahkaranam is what? Collection or not? Collection. To whom is it? To you. That you is not a collection of things. That conscious being is not a collection of things. So the body is a collection to me. The senses are a collection meant to me. The mind is a collection of many things meant to me. The one, that me to whom the body is meant, that me for whom the body is meant, the senses are meant, the antahkaranam is meant, that me is not a collection of anything. It's not collection because it is inseparable. Try to separate the knower. Make one knower into two knowers. You can have two thoughts, but you can't have two knowers. How many knowers know? There are many thoughts, but how many knowers are there? One knower. How many bodies are there? How many parts of the body are there? Many, but the knower is one. How many perceptions? Every day how many perceptions take place? Morning till evening how many perceptions? I see this object, that object, that object, that object. How many perceptions? Can you count? Even this is really mind-boggling. How many perceptions are there a day? How many perceptions are there? But all perceptions are connected to one knower. And three avasthas are there, is it not? Waking, dream and sleep. All of them are connected to me, a knower. Now try to divide the knower into two. If you can divide the knower into two, I tell you, you can do many things at a time. Means one, if you can divide 1 into 2, you can divide 1 into a million. If divisibility is possible, then the divisibility is endless. Divisibility is endless. You can never say thus far, no further. You may not be capable of dividing, but it will go on. If knower can be divided into many knowers, then one knower can be doing, one knower will be listening. Then another knower will be seeing, another knower will be reading, another knower will be imagining. One knower will be Sukhi, another knower will be Dukhi. So you will be Sukhi Dukhi at the same time. But that is aisa to nahi hai. Therefore all perceptions, all thoughts, all emotions, all feelings, all avasthas are all connected to the knower. Therefore that knower is indivisible, and therefore it is not a collection of, it is not a samhata, it is not a collection. And therefore to me that Atma, all collections, the body is meant for me, the asamhata. The samhata sense organs, the samhata antahkaranam are also meant to me, the asamhata. Now samhata is not an adjective of asamhata, nor asamhata is an adjective of samhata. Samhata means collection, asamhata means that which is not a collection of things, the indivisible. And therefore, what is samhatam means collection, asamhata means non-collection, it's a whole, not divisible. This is all within our experience. What is meant and to whom things are meant, for whose purpose things exist, to whose purpose, for whose purpose things exist, is all within experience. Do you exist for somebody's purpose? Does that knowing being, does he exist for something else? Body exists for me, senses exist for me. I use the body, I use the senses, I use the memory, I use perception, I use all the mind, I use all the objects also. The whole prapancha is for me, the conscious being. Does the conscious me exist for something else? No, you don't exist for another conscious being, because if there is another conscious being for whose purpose I exist, then I would definitely have been samhata. I am not samhata. I am asamhata. And I don't experience another conscious being for whose purpose I am existing. No, you don't exist for anybody's purpose. The whole thing exists for me, but I don't exist for anyone. That is why it is called swartham. You know swartham? Today I will introduce one word. If anybody asks me, you are a swarthi. Suppose somebody says, you are a swarthi. Then you explain, you give a talk on what is swartham. What is swartham? That which exists for itself, and everything else exists for that. Every jiva in this world is a swarthi. I am not talking in terms of emotions or sentiments. Okay. In fact, inert exists for Atma, Atma exists for itself. Atma is self-existent and Anatma exists for Atma. Samhata exists for asamhata. Asamhata does not exist for samhata. Therefore, which conscious being is not swartham? Not swartham. Generally they think swartham means, selfish. Yahan par swartham does not mean selfish. Swartham means what? That which exists for itself. To say, no, I am existing only for others' sake. Then you take yourself to be the body, then is all the whole meaning is different. Meaning what? I use my body, I use my mind, I use my resources for somebody else's pleasure. Why? Because in his pleasure lies my pleasure. Ultimately you want only your pleasure. Alright, if you don't look for, if you don't work for somebody else's pleasure, what will happen to you? Let him be unhappy. No, if he becomes unhappy, then I become miserable. I don't want to be miserable. Therefore, I want to make him happy so that I become happy. Therefore, what is the ultimate motive? Only Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Ultimately, everything results in my happiness. There is no compromise as far as happiness of myself is concerned. You can sacrifice comfort. You can't sacrifice peace and happiness. A physical comfort you may sacrifice, but not happiness. Nobody sacrifices happiness. When somebody says, I am working the whole day for somebody else, I love my children, I love my husband, I love my people, the whole day I am working, I sacrifice all my happiness. Are you really sacrificing your happiness? Or sacrificing your comforts? You are sacrificing your comforts in order to make everybody happy so that you can be happy. So you can't sacrifice happiness. It is unsacrificable, it is choiceless. Therefore, some people find happiness in their own happiness. Some people find happiness in their own comfort. Some people find happiness in others, in making others happy because they're all attached. Because I like him so much, therefore make him happy so that I can make him happy. Ultimately, what do you want? You want to make happy. Even Bhagavan you please, hey Bhagavan, you try to praise him. Bhagavan ko stuti karte hain. Why do you do stuti? Stuti has only one purpose, only to please the other person, otherwise there is no point. Is it not? If you do stuti, the only purpose is to please the other person. Supposing you say you are a human being, supposing you tell him, is it stuti? Or is it a matter of fact? In fact, it is insulting. If you tell somebody you are a human being, it will not be stuti, it will be only ninda. So as if really you have a doubt about me. You are reminding me or what? So it becomes more a ninda than stuti. Supposing you tell Bhagavan, you are Satchid Anandam. Without knowing, if you tell you are Satchid Anandam, it will be a flattery. Knowing him that he is Satchid Anandam, if you tell him, it is a matter of fact. Is it not? Not able to follow? If you know him that he is Satchidananda and tell him you are Satchidananda, then it is a matter of fact. Without knowing, if you say you are Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, then it will be a flattery. So all right, you do stuti of Bhagavan. Then that stuti, you do it in order to please Bhagavan. Why do you want to please Bhagavan? So when I please Bhagavan, then he will bless me. That blessing will make me happy. Therefore, what I want Bhagavan's pleasure to resolve in my happiness. I want happiness through Bhagavan's happiness. Therefore, try to sacrifice your happiness. Can you really sacrifice happiness? Can you sacrifice peace? Or we sacrifice things for peace. We gain things for peace. We sacrifice also things for peace. But that peace cannot be sacrificed. That is choiceless. And therefore, here Bhagavan says, Hey Purupakshi, all these sense organs, body, etc., all of them are samhatas. Shrotrādīnāmevatu samhatānām. These Shrotradis, which are samhatas, Vyaparena, by their functioning. I see them all functioning. Vyaparena. Alochana sankalpa vyavasaya lakshanena. What is the nature of the functioning on the part of the body, senses and the antahkaranam? This is alochana, is thinking, seeing or thinking. Sankalpa and vikalpa, just a upalakshanam. Perception, thought, sankalpa means thought or doubt, desire, vyavasaya means definite knowledge, lakshanena, of the nature of perception, of the nature of doubt, of the nature of right thinking. All this is the functioning of, perception is the functioning of the sense organs. To doubt is the function of the mind. And to correctly know also is the function of the intellect. These are all just different jobs of the same thing, please. Antahkaranam has got 4 jobs to do, as it were. That is, mind means that which is involved in perception is mind. Having perceived, you correctly know it. That is intellect. And then what is known is remembered. That is called memory. And the thought of individuality is called ahankara. Only 4 types of thoughts you are capable of. 5th thought is impossible. You perceive the world. All perception comes under one category. Is it clear? Try to make it simpler. Even though there are many perceptions, all perceptions are called one perception. Everything is called perception. So in perception, that perception I can have perception and mistake I can doubt what I perceive. Is it not? I can doubt what I perceive. Is it rope or is it something else? Or is it snake or is it something else? So doubt, to be able to entertain a doubt about the nature of what I perceive. This is what is called manaha, means the faculty to doubt. The faculty to doubt is what is called manaha. It's called sankalpa vikalpa. Now, another faculty, another capacity I have got. Having entertained a doubt, I can probe and determine this is this. I come out of the doubt by determining the thing as it is. That is called definite knowledge. Okay, this is called clear knowledge. First is perception, and then over and above the perception, I can have a doubt about the perceptible, and after the doubt, I make a probe and have definite knowledge, and that knowledge becomes memory. Is it clear? Perception. About the perceptible, I can have a doubt, and after the doubt, I am capable of vichara and determine what is its real nature. That is called intellect, called definite knowledge. Once it becomes knowledge, then it becomes memory, called smriti. These are three vrittis: perception, doubt, definite knowledge, memory. Is all pertaining to things. About the objects, I have perception. About objects, I have perception. I have doubt. I have definite knowledge. I have memory. Try to entertain something else. What else can you do about the objects? What can you do about the objects? Please tell me. You can perceive them. Having perceived, you can doubt them. Having doubted, you can probe into them. Having probed, you can determine their nature. Having understood, you can remember them. Is it not? Over and above what can? And what else is there? Nothing. I mean, we can enjoy them, we can suffer them. There is also perception. There are pleasant perceptions and unpleasant perceptions. What you call pleasant perception is called pleasure. What you call unpleasant perception is called pain. You say to touch the fire, it's very hot. What is it? Perception or not? Perception. That it is hot is perception. And the pain also is in that very perception. There cannot be pleasures, there cannot be pains outside perception. Is it clear? Memory. And there is another thought called I am jiva. That is also a thought. That is called ahankara. Thus, the faculty to perceive, the faculty to doubt, the faculty to doubt, the faculty to determine, the faculty to remember, and the faculty of owning up oneself as an individual. These few faculties put together are called antahkaranam. They are called antahkaranam. So, alochana, sankalpa, vyavasaya, lakshanena, by these various functions, through the functioning of perception, doubt and determination, memory, vagaira, vagaira, phalavasana lingena, with the help of, with the linga means, with the data. Lingam means the data. Like you see the dhuma and that becomes the linga for the fire. That which helps you to infer something, that is called linga, a sign. A sign is called phalavasana lingena. Phala avasana lingena means through the data, through all these things which are called phala vyapti. Phala avasana lingena. It simply means this. Phala avasana lingena means with the help of perception, doubt, definite knowledge, memory, all of them are known to be to someone. That is called phala avasana lingena. It is called phala vyapti. One is called vritti vyapti, the other is called phala vyapti. This is also again made big issue in the traditional books. One is called vritti vyapti, the other is called phala vyapti. Vritti vyapti and phala vyapti. It's like when you know the sun, you objectify the sun. To know the sun means to have the thought of the sun. To know the sun means to have the thought of the sun. This must be clear first. एक इश्यू को खत्म करना चाहे To know the issue, to know the sun means what? To have the thought of the sun. This is called just knowledge of the sun. That is called vritti vyapti. Just entertaining a thought of the sun. Just knowledge of the sun. This is called vritti vyapti. The presence of vritti. Presence of knowledge. It is not mere, now this knowledge also involves a duality between that very knowledge and the one to whom that knowledge is. Is it not? Is it only knowledge or is it had by someone? It is had by someone, and that relationship of the owner and the owned is what is called phalavyapti in simple terms. I am not going into terminology at all. The knowledge of an object as knowledge is called vritti vyapti, and that itself being related to me is called phalavyapti. Is the vritti vyapti and phalavyapti. That means all thoughts, are they for themselves or are they to someone? They are all to someone. As existent to someone is what is called phalavyapti. Therefore, phalavasana lingena means what? Perception is seen, doubt is seen, determination is seen, memory is seen. All of them are seen, not existent for themselves, but as existent to someone. That means what? They are all understood to be meant for someone. That becomes the basis for me to understand that all of them are samhatas, and the one to whom they are there, he is not samhata. Therefore, phalavasana lingena avagamyate is understood. What is understood? That perception is not meant for itself, is meant for someone. Someone means me, Atma. Doubt is not for itself, doubt is for me, the Atma. Vyavasaya is not for itself, is meant for me, the Atma. Memory is not meant for itself, is for me, the Atma. Thus all perception, doubt, Vyavasaya, memory are all meant for me. That means the body, the senses, the mind, the intellect, all faculties are meant for me, the Atma. Iti is evident. Is it evident or not? It is all evident. Avagamyate. If this is evident, then definitely one thing is clear, that the one to whom they are all meant is definitely distinct in nature, not spatial away, but distinct in nature from all of them. Astihi. With this we become clear. Astihi, there is shrotradibihi asamhataha, unconnected to sense organs. Shrotradibihi asamhataha means unconnected to sense organs. Yat prayojana prayuktaha, for whose purpose? Yat prayojana, jiski prayojan ke liye, prayuktaha, present. So jiski prayojan ke liye hi dehadi hai. Yat prayojana prayuktaha means what? For who? For whom they are meant. Who are meant? Shrotradi kalapaha, the aggregate of sense organs, etc. All those beginning from sense organs. Shrotradi kalapaha means what? Kalapa means samuha ityartaha. The entire realm of the sense organs, etc. is meant for that being which is not connected really spatially. Meaning what? It is not spatially aware, nor is it an adjective of the sense organs, etc. Kalapaha. Like what? Grihadivati, like even a house. How the house is evidently meant for me, and therefore I am not an adjective of the house, nor the house is an adjective of me. Supposing I am the adjective of the house, then what will I be called? If I am an adjective of the house, then what will I be called? Swamiji, if you are the adjective of the house, what will you be called? You have to think about it. You will be the house. Is it not? You will be the house. Every brick of the house is also called house. If I were an adjective of the house, I would be called house, not householder. And therefore, to whom the house is meant is unconnected, is not an adjective of the house. To whom the body is meant, to whom the senses are meant, to whom the mind is meant, to whom the memory is meant. Think in terms of perception. To whom every perception is meant, to whom every doubt is meant, to whom every knowledge is meant, to whom every memory is meant, to whom every pleasure is meant, to whom every pain is meant, to whom the whole samsara is meant to, whom is not a part of samsara, is it not? The one to whom the samsara is, he is not an adjective of samsara, nor the samsara is an adjective of him. And therefore the very fact, when somebody makes the statement, Swamiji, I have samsara, that only proves he has no Has no samsara. Are you samsara or you have samsara? Are you meant for samsara or samsara is meant for you? Samsara is meant for you. What is meant is not an adjective of the one to whom it is meant. So there is a definite difference. Then why it is felt to be belonging to me, is meant to me? It is not meant to you. It appears to be meant to you. That it is meant to you shows that you are two different things. And even this situation